Good morning, class.
Good morning.
Today we are on Unit 3 and we are starting a new book called Government at Work. And the selection that we are reading today is Our Government Laws on page 12. Are we there?
Yeah.
When we read our government laws, we practice identifying the central idea of the selection as well as the focus of specific sections of the text. Today, as we take a closer look at the selection, you'll answer a close reading question using your knowledge of central idea and relevant details. You will work with your partner to reread parts of the text and use text evidence to answer the questions. Just by looking at the title alone, Our Government's Laws by Naya Brown, I'm going to use this title and predict a genre. So let's think for a second. Our Government's Laws. What genre do you think this falls under? Yes.
Nonfiction.
Nonfiction is giving informational text. And if you look up here, it says informational social studies. And that tells us about our history, our cultures, and our beliefs. Okay? Here we go. Paragraph 1, it says introduction. What does that mean? Yes.
The beginning.
The beginning. Let's read paragraph 1 together. Every country has a government. A government is a group of people. This group of people work together to make important decisions for the country. Very good. Remember, the central idea is mainly what the passage is talking about. And the relevant details support the central idea within the passage. All right? Let us read paragraph 2. In the United States, the government for the country is called the federal government. It runs national programs. Each state has its own government too. Cities and towns also have their own local government. So the central idea of paragraph 2 is that the U.S. government has what we call the federal government, which is a level of government, and that each state has its own government that takes care of its cities and towns. Okay, so when I look at paragraph 3, on top I can see a heading. The heading is a text feature. We don't want to skip over the heading because the heading is going to give us a little more about what the paragraph is. So it says, why does the government make laws? So we're going to be reading about why the government makes laws. Okay, let us read. All governments make laws. A law is a rule that everyone has to follow. A government makes laws to keep citizens safe. Very good. So once again, they define what a law is. Who can define for me what the law is? Yes.
A law is a rule that everyone has to follow.
Excellent. A law is a rule that everyone has to follow. So if I had to come up with a central idea, overall idea for this paragraph, I would say it's about laws and how the laws keep us safe. Okay? Next paragraph, 4. For example, every child in a car must wear a seatbelt. This is the law. In most states, adults must wear seatbelts too. Anyone who does not is breaking the law. Is breaking the law something that we want to do? No. At all times, we want to be able to follow the law because that is how you, me, your parents, all the citizens in the U.S. stay safe. Okay? So paragraph 4 is a good example as to why the government creates the laws. Okay? Let's take the example that they gave about children. Children must wear a seatbelt. What are the dangers of not wearing a seatbelt? Yes.
If you don't wear a seatbelt, you don't know if there's gonna be a car crash and you might hurt yourself.
Absolutely, a child might get hurt. Yes.
And if your mom is going too fast or if your dad is going too fast and they click the brake, you can maybe fly out of your
Absolutely, without having a seatbelt on, you can fly out of the car. It has happened. So now you can see the reasons as to why the law says, nope, if you're a child, we definitely want you to wear a seatbelt, and not just a child. If you see anywhere for adults too, you'll see signs around the highways, and it will say, click it or ticket. That means that everyone in that car should have a seat belt and is for your safety. We have another heading on top of paragraph 5. How does the government keep order? Let's read. Laws help the government keep order. Laws tell people what they can and cannot do. For example, there are laws about how fast a car can go. The speed limit on many highways is 65 miles per hour. There are also laws about which streets cars can drive down. So in paragraph 5, what the heading is basically trying to say is this is the way that the government is able to run smoothly, keep order, run smoothly. They put things in place that if we all follow, the government and all its citizens in it will just flow properly. All right? So how do we do that? The text gives us an example. There are laws about how fast a car can go. Well, we're limiting people's speed. Because if you're out there in a car and you're speeding, and somebody runs out in front of you, you can run that person over. So what do? We limit speeds. In a school zone, it's 15 miles per hour. That way, if an accident should occur and you do hit a student, it probably won't be a fatal hit. They may be a little hurt, but it won't be too bad compared to you going 65 miles per hour. You see that? You look at the bottom here, you see a young lady, and she has her seatbelt on. And next in the photograph, which is also a text feature, it says, "Buckle up, it is the law." These are signs that you will see outside and on the highways as a reminder to keep safe. Okay? Paragraph 6. Police officers work for the government. Some work for the local government. Others work for the state or federal government. They work to make sure people follow the laws. What is this section mainly about? Yes.
Police officers helping the government
Follow the law. Very good. So what the police do is they enforce what the law sets out to tell us. Enforce means if you don't follow the law, the police will come and make sure that you do. Or they will put you behind bars or give you a ticket or do other things to ensure that you follow the law. All right? Local means close by. The local, the state, and the federal, those are all different levels of government. All right? But the one that we are more concerned with is the local government, which is close by. Let's read paragraph 7. There's a heading. Let's read it. What happens when a law gets broken? Now, when I see this text feature, the heading, what am I going to be reading about?
What happens when a law gets broken?
That's exactly what I'm going to be reading about. Here we go. Paragraph 7. Many things can happen when a law gets broken. Here is an example. When a school bus has stopped to let students get on or off, cars are not allowed to pass. It is against the law to pass a school bus that has stopped for students. Paragraph 8. But one day, a man drives past a school bus that has stopped for students. A police officer sees this. He makes the driver stop. The officer writes a ticket. The ticket says which law the driver broke. And it lists a fine the driver may have to pay. Very good. And then you can see the driver himself can see that he passed the speed limit, because the speed limit here would show you 25 miles per hour. When the bus stops, a huge stop sign comes out. So if you pass the stop sign, then you know you're breaking the law, because you should not go around it. You are to stop in front of it so kids can get out and move. Okay? So when you get that fine and they write on there exactly why you're being fined, a fine is money you have to pay the government for breaking the law, then you know you may be upset inside, but you broke the law. If it says stop, you need to stop. If it's a red light, it's a red light. If it says 25 miles per hour, that's what you do. Because anything outside of that is breaking the law. And there are consequences for breaking the law, and a fine is one of them. And the fine is hundreds of dollars. It's not $2 or $3. It's hundreds of dollars to deter you not to break that law again. Do you understand? Okay, paragraph 9. Sometimes a person must go to court. In a courtroom, a judge is in charge. The judge knows all about laws. A jury is a group of people. They are chosen to listen to court cases. Many juries have 12 people. A judge and jury listen to see if the person broke the law. In paragraph 9, it gives us a definition of what a jury is. It says a jury is a group of people. And what it is a group of your peers. So there would be people like me, citizens just like me. They sit on a panel, and they listen to see if you broke the law when you come into the courtroom. And then the judge will give the verdict, and they will say, yes, you are guilty, or no, you are not. You did not break the law. Okay? Paragraph 10. In court, a person tells his or her side of the story. Then the jury decides if the person broke the law. Next, the judge decides what happens to the person. So exactly what I explained. And the author went ahead and put an illustration of the police officer here because this is who enforces the laws when you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. And remember, the laws are here to keep things in order and keep citizens safe. Okay? All right, now we have a heading here that says the conclusion. What does that tell me? Yes? Absolutely. It is the end of our text. Let us read. There are federal, state, and local governments. They all pass laws. The laws help keep people safe. The laws help keep order. Police officers help keep order too. So again, what is this section mostly about? Yes.
The people who help keep our states, our country safe.
Absolutely. Thank you. And how many governments do we have?
We have the federal, state, and local government.
Federal, state, and local. Very good. Remember, when the author gives us text features such as photographs like these two, this is inside of the courtroom, and this is a lawyer standing in front of the jury trying to plead the case for her person who she is protecting. This is a picture of a school bus with a stop sign and cars stopping in front of the stop sign. So the author is, everything that you see in the photograph is related to what the text is trying to tell you. Okay? It's not just here for no reason. We cannot bypass the photographs and the captions. All right? So I'm going to go back. And then when we look here on page 12, it says the United States Congress makes the laws. Who makes the laws?
The United States Congress.
The Congress makes the laws, and this is one of their buildings. This is Nancy Pelosi, and most likely she's signing a law. And this is what it looks like when they go to make the laws. All right? So again, the author is giving you these photographs because it relates to what they're trying to tell you in the text. All right? All right, guys, so to summarize our lesson today, we learned about the government. We learned about why the government makes the laws, and we learned how the government enforces the laws. So our government makes laws to keep order and to keep people safe. Requiring children to wear seatbelts is a law because it keeps people safe. Keeping citizens safe is one of the main reasons our government makes the laws. And that is what the author is trying to get across to you. So if I was to ask you, what was the author's purpose for writing this passage, our government's laws? It would be to inform you on how the government makes laws and to keep citizens safe. Okay?